fractions by fractions, so the last step is to learn how to divide mixed numbers. Make sure you have these notes loaded in GoodNotes so you can copy down the notes. Okay, when we're dividing mixed numbers, we have a couple steps we need to follow, and they're pretty similar to the steps you've already learned. Step 1 is to change all mixed numbers to improper fractions. And remember, we're going to use MAD, multiply add denominator, to help us with those steps. If you've forgotten how to change mixed numbers to improper fractions in the iTunes U course, go back and review the video that reviews changing mixed numbers to improper fractions before moving on to the next step. Okay? After we've changed all our mixed numbers to improper fractions, okay, we rewrite the division problem as a multiplication problem. And we find the reciprocal of the second number. Remember, reciprocal, refliprocal. And then our final step is to multiply. So pretty similar to what you've already learned. The only thing that's really different is making sure we change all our mixed numbers into improper fractions. Make sure you have all these copied down before moving on to the next step. Okay, so quickly, let's review MAD, multiply add denominator. So if we have the mixed number 2 3/4, and remember this is a mixed number because we have a whole number and a fraction. So it's a mixed number because there's two parts to it. So what we're going to do here is we draw our MAD face. Grr. Start at the bottom. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. That's our numerator. And then our denominator stays the same at 4. So 2 3/4 is the same as 11/4. Let's try one more together. Here we're given the mixed number 6 1/5. Again, start by drawing your MAD face. Remember, we start with multiplying. 5 times 6 is 30. 30 plus 1 is 31. And our denominator stays the same as 5. So 6 1/5 is the same as 31/5. Alright, so let's try some actual dividing with mixed numbers problems. So here in this example, we have 1 3/4 divided by 2/5. Again, remember to change all mixed numbers to improper fractions first. So I'm going to go ahead and draw our MAD face. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. Denominator stays the same as 4. Okay, and remember that's step 1. Next step, we're going to rewrite this as a multiplication problem and find the reciprocal of our second number. So this becomes 7/4 times 5/2. Before we multiply, remember to look for any common factors on the top and bottom that you can cancel. In this case, we unfortunately don't have any, so we're going to go ahead and multiply straight across. 7 times 5 is 35, and 4 times 2 is 8. So we get a final quotient of 35/8. And if you want to, you can change that improper fraction to a mixed number. Just remember that it's the same answer. Remember, to change an improper fraction to a mixed number, we need to divide. 35 divided by 8. 8 goes into 35 a total of 4 times. 8 times 4 is 32. 35 minus 32 is 3. So we get a mixed number of 4 3/8. Alright, let's try another one. Here we've got 3 3/4 divided by 4/5. Again, start by changing all mixed numbers to improper fractions. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. Our denominator stays the same as 4. Okay, notice how we're not yet changing it to a multiplication problem. That should be a different step when you're working out this problem. Okay, now we're going to do the step 15 fourths stays the same, division becomes multiplication, and we find the reciprocal of 4/5, which is 5/4. And now we've got our multiplication problem. Once again, look for any common factors on the top and bottom that you can cancel. Once again, unfortunately, in this case, we don't have anything that we can cancel, so we just multiply straight across. 15 times 5 is 75, and 4 times 4 is 16. So we get a final quotient of 75/16. Again, if you'd like to change that to a mixed number, you can. 75 divided by 16. Okay, 16 goes into 75 4 times, and 16 times 4 is 64. 5 minus 4 is 1, 7 minus 6 is also 1. So we get a final mixed number of 4 and 11/16. Just remember that these mean the same thing. Alright, hopefully you're getting the hang of this, but let's try another one. Here we've got 2 3/8 divided by 1/4. Once again, start with your mad face. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 3 is 19. Denominator of 8. Oops. Divided by 1/4. Okay. Again, now we're going to rewrite this as multiplication. Find the reciprocal of the second fraction. Excuse me. Look for any common factors you can cancel. I actually see one this time, and hopefully you see it too. 8 and 4 have a common factor of both 2 and 4. We're going to divide by the larger factor, which is 4. 4 divided by 4 equals 1, so that's our new number there. 8 divided by 4 equals 2. Okay, there's no other common factors here, so now we can multiply. 19 times 1 is 19. 2 times 1 is 2. So we get a final quotient of 19/2. Once again, you can always change it to a mixed number if you'd like to. We're going to do 19 divided by 2. 2 goes into 19 a total of 9 times. 19 minus 18 is 1. So we get a final mixed number of 9 and 1/2. Just remember that 19/2 and 9 and 1/2 mean the same thing. Okay, let's try another one. Here we've actually got two mixed numbers, 5 and 1/2 divided by 2 and 1/2. But we're going to approach it the same way. Start by changing all mixed numbers into improper fractions. Draw your mad face. We're going to start with this first one here. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. Our denominator stays the same at 2. Not changing it to multiplication yet. Okay, 2 and 1/2, we're going to start with 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. Denominator stays the same at 2. Okay, now we're going to do the step where we change this to multiplication. 11/2 stays the same, times reciprocal of 5/2 is 2/5. Once again, before you multiply, look for anything you can cancel. Here I see both 2 and 2. We can divide them by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. Nothing else here we can cancel, so multiply straight across. 11 times 1 is 11, and 1 times 5 is 5. So we get an improper fraction of 11/5. 11 divided by 5, let's see, 5 goes into 11 2 times. 11 minus 10 is 1. Okay, so we get a mixed number of 2 and 1/5. Okay, just a couple more to try. 4 and 2/3 divided by 1 and 3/4. Again, let's start with our mad face. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14, all over the denominator of 3. Okay, divided by 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. Denominator stays the same at 4. Okay. We're going to go ahead and change this to multiplication now. So 14/3 times 4/7. Look for anything you can cancel on the top and the bottom. I see some common factors here with 14 and 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1, and 14 divided by 7 is 2. Go ahead and multiply straight across now. 2 times 4 is 8, and 3 times 1 is 3. So we get an improper fraction of 8/3. Remember, if you want to, you can change that to a mixed number. 3 goes into 8, a total of 2 times. 8 minus 6, I'm running out of room here. 8 times 6 is 2, so we get a mixed number of 2 and 2/3. But remember, they mean the same thing. Alright, 2 more examples. Okay, 4 1/5 divided by 2 1/3. Once again, multiply, add denominator. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 plus 1 is 21. Denominator stays the same at 5. Okay. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. Denominator stays the same as 3. Okay. Alright, let's change this to multiplication. 21/5 times 3/7. Okay. I see some common factors here. We can divide 21 and 7 by 7. 21 divided by 7 is 3, and 7 divided by 7 is 1. Multiply straight across. 3 times 3 is 9, and 5 times 1 is 5. So we get an improper fraction of 9/5. Again, to change it to a mixed number, we're going to do 9 divided by 5. 5 goes into 9 one time. 9 minus 5 is 4. So we get a mixed number of 1 and 4/5. Alright, last example, and this is a real-world connection. The problem says the average adult male giant panda, and if you've never seen a giant panda, make sure you pause this video and Google it so you can see what it looks like. Okay, the average adult male giant panda weighs 1 1/5 times as much as the average adult female. If the average weight of a male giant panda is 330 pounds, how much does the average female giant panda weigh? Okay, so we've got a division problem here. Okay, and so what we're going to be doing here is 330 pounds divided by 1 1/5. Excuse me. Okay, we also have a whole number here, so we're going to write our whole number as 330 over 1. Okay, change 1 1/5 to improper fraction, so that becomes 6/5. So our next step is we're going to write this as a multiplication problem. So we've got 330 over 1 times 5 6. Look for any common factors. I'll help you out a little bit here. 330 and 6 are both divisible by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. And 330 divided by 6 is 55. Then go ahead and multiply straight across. 55 times 5 is 275. 1 times 1 is 1. So we can say that the female giant panda weighs 275 pounds. And that concludes our note on dividing mixed numbers.